Over the next couple of months, we're going to be talking a lot about November's midterm elections. So let's make sure we're all up to speed as to what exactly they are and what's at stake.
Welcome to contemporary American history.
The midterm sounds a little bit like a school exam.
Say it! The answer is 4.
And in a way, they kind of are.
My students have a midterm to prepare for, and I need their total concentration.
They're called midterms because they come in the middle of the president's 4-year term in office. So while the president is not on the ballot, the midterms are seen as the voters' verdict on how the president is going.
Already a net change of 28 seats going into the Republicans' column.
Americans deliver a stinging rebuke to President Trump.
Seismic win for Republicans. They had control of the House. They now have control of the Senate.
All 435 members of the United States House of Representatives are up for re-election every 2 years, so they're all on the ballot again this November. While United States senators are typically elected to a 6-year term, so every 2-year election cycle, around 1/3 of the 100 senators faces re-election. I say typically because senators who win so-called special elections or are appointed to serve out another senator's term may have to face voters sooner. President Biden's Democratic Party holds 50 Senate seats, meaning they rely on Vice President Kamala Harris to break a tie and pass laws. They sometimes get support from Republicans, but not much. The House of Representatives in this 117th Congress is almost as tight. The Democrats hold 220 seats, the Republicans 211, with 4 vacancies after 1 Democrat and 1 Republican resigned and 2 Republicans died in office. History suggests that President Biden's Democrats are in danger of losing those majorities in both the House and the Senate. In 19 midterm elections since World War II, the incumbent president's party has improved its share of the House popular vote just once and picked up seats just twice. Bill Clinton in 1998 and George W. Bush in 2002. That was in the aftermath of 9/11 and the ousting of the Taliban from Afghanistan.
At this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
At the time, Bush enjoyed a 63% approval rating and his Republican Party picked up 6 House seats. Clinton's was 3 points higher in 1998 and Democrats netted 5 seats, but they are the exception. Every other modern midterm election has seen the president's party lose ground, including those with high popularity like Ronald Reagan and the first George Bush. And the big worry for Joe Biden and the Democrats is that with around 41–42% approval, he's down where Donald Trump was 4 years ago when Republicans lost 40 seats. The average midterm loss for the president's party in the past 50 years is 23 House seats, according to 538.com. Since the Second World War, the president's party has performed, on average, 7 points worse in the House midterm vote than it did just 2 years prior. That average would give Republicans a win by over 4 points. Historically, the Senate is slightly better for the president's party. 4 times since World War II, they've actually gained ground in the midterms, and twice they held their ground, but that still means on 13 occasions they have gone backwards. In a non-compulsory voting system like America's, elections hinge on who turns out to vote. And often it is supporters of the out-of-power party that get motivated to cast a ballot, and supporters of the party in office can get disillusioned and stay home. So, President Biden is facing a potential backlash for the decisions he made.
I've concluded that it's time to end America's longest war.
The things he could not prevent.
Today, the Supreme Court of the United States expressly took away a constitutional right from the American people.
And the compromises he's made along the way.
I think we can break the package up, get as much as we can now, and come back and fight for the rest later.
If Democrats lose the House or the Senate, or both, it will make passing any new legislation even harder than it's been so far. President Biden would then have to rely on his executive powers. But The good news for Joe Biden is history also suggests it won't necessarily affect his chances of winning a second term if he runs again in 2024. Incumbency is still important. In the last century, almost twice as many sitting presidents who stood for election won, and all but 2 of them suffered midterm losses along the way.